This is a video entitled Pulled Over by Canine Police on Idaho-Oregon State Line from a YouTuber named Paul Barger. He's got some interesting, entertaining, and educational content that you might like, so I'll leave the link in the description. If you end up going over there, let him know High Impact Vlog sent you. For a little background, Paul states under his video, we had just crossed the Oregon-Idaho state line. This video clearly shows the police's intent to search for no reason. I advocate recording the police in all situations to keep them accountable. And I agree. In this day and age, this is a must. One of your best defenses against law enforcement violation of your rights is a video camera. Your best bet is multiple video cameras recording multiple angles, and the best case scenario is recording live to the cloud. That way they can't take your camera into evidence and accidentally lose the incriminating footage you recorded of them. Let's hit some highlights and learn some things for our next encounter with policy enforcers. Here's the first interesting and notable thing to me. This trucker approaching on the other side of the highway flashes his lights to warn oncoming traffic that they're approaching a speed trap. I love this road camaraderie. We got to stick together and do whatever we can to protect ourselves and our wallets and the wallets of others from road pirates. Policy enforcers write tickets for two main reasons. Number one, to transfer power from you to them, and number two, to generate revenue for the Constitution-hating state. And that's it. It's not about your safety, it's about control and money.
Now, when I came through, here they are, right here on the right side of the road. I came through completely obeying the law, doing nothing wrong, and they were just waiting for people to come through so they could pull them over. And here's one more time, zoomed in, just so you could see how they were sitting, waiting for the bread trucker to come along and get their spot on YouTube for the day.
The next thing I want to point out is that as they pass the 3 patrol car speed trap, that's a great use of resources. Let's say Paul is doing the speed limit of 55 or 65 miles per hour. For these cops who are standing still to catch up to Paul, they have to engage in one of the very things that they're sitting on the roadside to do. They're there to catch people speeding, because we wouldn't want excessive speed to put lives at risk, would we? And they have to hypocritically speed themselves so that they can catch up to the person who's speeding. I'm not saying Paul was speeding, because he wasn't. The point is, anytime a cop pulls you over for speeding, he has to speed himself to give you a ticket for the very thing he just got done doing. You can never escape the fact that the state and all state functionaries are continually involved in hypocrisy. It's inherent to statism, all statism. Well, they end up catching old Paul. But since he wasn't speeding and since he was obeying all the laws of the road, what'd they get him on? What excuse did they make up to pull him over? Let's watch.
Hi there.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, thanks. Deputy Fuqua at the White County Sheriff's Office. The reason I stopped is you have a little light out on the top of the van.
Oh, okay.
Do you have your driver's license, proof of insurance, registration?
Yeah.
The reason I stopped is you have a little light out on the top of the van.
Did you get that? Her reason for obstructing this guy's travels and slowing him down was that he has a little light out on top of his van. Well, this is his van. It's a bread truck that he converted into an RV. It's actually a pretty cool rig. Now, I'm assuming it was one of these lights right here. First of all, it's daytime. Second of all, don't you have something better to do with your time, officer, than to hassle people with little nitpicky things on their vehicles that aren't causing people danger on the roads? These cops should be ashamed of themselves.
What do you got in this van?
It's just, it's like an RV that I converted.
I see. Out of Florida?
Yeah, I go all over the place in this guy.
All over the place in this guy?
Yeah, well, I travel full time.
There's something very instructive to note about how happy and friendly this cop is. Don't ever trust that. As we've encountered many times before, cops are literally trained to deceive you and even to outright lie to you. One of their tactics is to try to get you to let your guard down and feel comfortable around them so that you can give them information that they can and will use against you. One of the best rules when you're talking to cops is don't talk to cops, especially if there are two of you. Because what they'll do is separate you, and if your stories vary at all on what you guys say when you're separated, they'll take that as you trying to deceive them, and they won't tolerate it. They can lie to you, but you can't lie to them. So don't let your guard down around cops. Anytime you're in their presence, your freedom and your very life and the lives of everyone with you is in jeopardy, and that is not an exaggeration. Now, Officer Curious here starts plying Paul with a barrage of questions. You do not have to answer any of their questions. The best course is to just respectfully decline.
What do you do for work?
I have a YouTube channel.
You what?
I have a YouTube channel.
A YouTube channel?
Yeah.
And what kind of YouTube channel?
It's about my travels and
Making fun of cops? Making fun of cops?
No, not at all. There's both my registration and my insurance.
So you live out of the van?
Yeah.
So where are you coming from today?
I'm coming from Nevada.
From
Austin.
Nevada?
Yeah.
From where at
Austin.
Nevada? Sorry,
Spencer's.
I couldn't hear.
Austin, Nevada.
Austin,
Yeah,
Nevada?
just outside. We went to Spencer Springs. Is right near there.
Okay. And where are you headed to tonight?
Boise.
Traveling with anything? Anybody else?
No,
Just by yourselves?
Ellie.
What do you do for work? What kind of YouTube channel do you have? Do you live in the van? Do you live out of town? Where are you coming from? Where are you going? Are you traveling with anybody? You can respectfully refuse to answer any of their questions. Make no mistake, these are all covert attempts to strip you of your freedom.
Do you have your driver's license or an ID with you?
Yeah. Why do you need it?
Oh, I didn't see you wearing your seatbelt. Because if people aren't wearing their seatbelts, I normally ask you.
Okay.
If you wouldn't mind, it's no big deal if you do or if you don't. Normally, I ask you if you're not wearing your seatbelt. I couldn't see your seatbelt.
Oh, yeah. I have a seatbelt on.
Okay.
There's no state in the U.S. where a police officer can lawfully require a person to show ID unless the person is driving a car. Passengers do not need to possess an ID, and in most situations, a passenger is not even required to verbally identify themselves. They could have literally said, "Okay, officer, you just asked an unlawful question. Why are you acting unlawfully as a law enforcement agent?" That question alone would have put Paul in control of this entire conversation. You don't have to ID yourself unless there is reasonable, articulable suspicion that you're involved in illegal activity. Now, another oathbreaker approaches from the passenger side with more questions and to inform Paul that he's going to break his oath to the constitutionally protected right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness by running a drug dog around his vehicle to make sure he doesn't have some politician-condemned plant or chemical matter on board his own private property.
No window? I'm sorry?
No window?
No, I have a window right here.
Is this turned into a kind of strobe light, like a sleeping quarters and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole house. Yeah.
Right on. Hey, Deputy Wood, White County Sheriff's Office. I'm a canine handler, and we're out doing a criminal interdiction on the highway today, and I'm going to run my canine around the outside of your vehicle. Is there anything that you want to tell me about before I do that?
No, sir.
Is there any user amount of marijuana or anything like that? Because if you tell me prior to, we probably could show you some leniency, but if I run the dog and then we do our search and the whole 9 yards, that's not going to work out that way. So is there a little user amount of marijuana in there?
There is no amount of marijuana in this
No
vehicle.
marijuana?
No.
Meth? Heroin?
No.
Cocaine?
No.
Bombs?
No.
No? Large amount of cash?
We're kind of boring.
Large amount of cash.
Question after question. If you have something our politicians said you couldn't have, and you tell us up front, we won't punish you as severely. But if we find out you lied to us, we're really going to throw the book at you. And then, did you hear that last question? Large amounts of cash?
Large amount of cash.
I'm sorry, officer, is it illegal to carry a large amount of cash that I earned myself with my own two hands? Are you that far gone, officer, that you would criminalize somebody for having more cash on board than you think he should have? At this point, Paul could have turned the camera on the cop and asked him, "Hey, officer, maybe you'd like to tell a couple million people who are going to see this video how what you're doing is consistent with keeping your oath to protect my rights according to the Bill of Rights. Maybe you'd like to tell everybody at home why you think it's a good idea to interrupt my life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness as you obey your political overlords and threaten to punish everyday average Americans." Now guys, there's more to Paul's video and I'll leave that link for you in the description. Like I said, if you go over there and watch this video, and I really highly suggest you do that, let them know High Impact Vlog sent you. The takeaway from this is don't trust cops ever. When they pull you over, a high percentage of the time, it's not for your good. They're there to trample your rights and increase the coffers of the state as they disregard the Constitution that they swore to uphold. Period. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the Google Thought Police in the comment section below.
Large amount of cash.